Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we are going to be talking about Halo Infinite, which probably surprises a lot of you. It definitely surprised me too when I got up today and I saw this in the news, but it is official. The folks over at Microsoft Studios have finally addressed the launch and the maintenance of Halo Infinite. They finally have kind of given a statement and given a little bit of an update as to what the future of Halo Infinite looks like. So if you haven't played Halo Infinite or you're not really aware of the situation that's kind of unfolded around that game, right, it's probably one of the biggest flops in recent gaming memory. And that sucks to say because Halo Infinite at its core is actually a really good video game, right? I personally enjoyed Halo Infinite while playing it. I thought it was pretty good. You know, the gameplay's fun, the maps are pretty decent. Like, I had a good time playing with my friends and everything. That's not the problem, right? The problem is the lack of content in Halo Infinite, and this has been an issue pretty much since launch, right? People have been raising this issue. People have been demanding that the folks actually update the game more and provide more content for players. And there really has been pretty much nothing, to be honest with you. There's been minor content updates, that's what I'll call them. They call them major updates, you know, your winter updates, your season updates and stuff. They haven't really brought enough consistency and content to the game to actually make it worth revisiting to a player like me. But we have finally gotten at least some answer on the future of Halo Infinite and like what they're looking at and if they even realized that they messed up. One of the things about the gaming industry is sometimes when a game is like royally screwed up, kind of like how Halo Infinite was, the developers like kind of like dig in a little bit and they defend themselves and they just ignore all the issues with the game. And it appears that the folks over at Microsoft have actually realized that there was a major issue with the entire promotion and handling of Halo Infinite, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So this is all coming from Microsoft Studios boss Matt Booty. Yeah, I'm not kidding. His name is actually Matt Booty. I didn't make that up. That's pretty funny, I guess, but he ended up comparing the launch of Halo Infinite to a runner coming across the finish line, then tripping and falling as you come across the finish line, saying that they need to recover and that the burden is on them to make the game better. And yeah, I mean, he's right about that. It's great to see them kind of address it. The elephant in the room, I guess, is the best way to put it. But let's go ahead and see what he really said and then come back and talk about everything surrounding this game because I have a lot to say. So, speaking on the Friends Per Second podcast featuring GameSpot's own Lucy James, Booty said Halo Infinite had a great start, reaching 20 million players and setting records out of the gate. Booty said finishing Halo Infinite during the pandemic represented a worst-case scenario, with hundreds of developers working across the world remotely to finish a big AAA title. While Halo Infinite's multiplayer had a strong launch, interest and engagement quickly fell off, due in part to a lack of exciting content. Quote, "These days with a game like Halo Infinite, shipping the game is just the beginning. There's got to be a plan for content sustained, there's got to be a plan for regular continuing engagement, and we fell short of the plan on that." In response to this, Booty said the developers at 343 have, quote, "retrenched and came up with a new setup to help deliver content in an effective way. The studio previously said it would need to slow down updates for Halo Infinite so it could get back up and running properly in the future, and this seems to be what Booty is alluding to." Booty also talked about the leadership changes at 343 as an example of how the team is setting out to make Halo Infinite the game it needs to be for fans. Quote, "Thank you to the players for sticking with us through this. We know that there's way more demand and there's so much more we could be delivering," Booty said. "That is our focus right now, on quality of life for the game and getting on a regular cadence of content, getting back to that." Halo Infinite's next big update, the Winter Update, will arrive on November 8th with some major changes and improvements as well as new features like Campaign Co-op and Forge. This will be Halo Infinite's biggest update ever. Alright, so let's talk about it, right? Is it too little, too late? Are you guys excited for the Halo Infinite content that's going to be coming? Let me know down in the comments below, but I definitely have my mind made up as it stands. And I just want to say, it's great to see some developers taking some responsibility. The fact that Matt came out and straight up said that they dropped the ball with this game, they needed to release more content, they needed to get on a better schedule, there was a lot more they could be doing. That's exactly what I feel like gaming fans expect and want out of these game developers. So many developers, if put in these shoes, right, would just look at what Halo Infinite has become and what it's achieved and just said, well, you know what, we made money, that's really all that counts, and they'd have shut their doors on the business for the day and went home and not even thought twice about it, right? But it's clear that this guy at least cares a little bit to answer the questions and to kind of address what's happened with this game, unlike so many of the game developers that we've become kind of accustomed to over time. And so I'm happy for that, but the only problem is, at least for me, right? it's too little too late, right? Like, I was on the Halo Infinite wave, like, when it first came out. I was all on board, you know, I like Halo. I've historically liked Halo from what I've played of it. I was ready for this game, and it came out, I enjoyed it, my friends enjoyed it, we played it a little bit together, but we realized pretty much instantaneously that there's just such a gaping, massive lack of content in the game. And, like, that's an unfixable thing, right? Like, if your first impression of the game is like, wow, there's nothing to do in this game, that really does kind of affect your long-term view of the game too. Now, can you kind of recuperate and can you kind of recover from that by dropping new content? Yeah, you can fix that problem. Is it 100% solvable? No, you never get that first impression back. You know what I mean? So that was the first impression of the game that we got, but we assumed that 343 and Microsoft were going to do whatever they could to put more content in the game as soon as possible. Now it's pretty much a year later, right? Over a year later at this point, if we're being real. And the game is pretty much in the same state that it was in. I mean, sure, maybe they've added some minor stuff or a new map or whatever. I don't even really know, but there hasn't been enough content added to the game to ever pique my interest in it again. After that first impression was kind of out of the way, I think I played Halo Infinite like a couple more times, and then I just dropped the game because there's nothing to do. And now they're getting to that point where they realize, like, oh yeah, maybe we did screw up by not adding enough content to the game. We gotta fix this. We gotta get on top of this. But truth be told, man, like, for me personally, my patience already wore thin months ago. You know, I was already mad that they didn't update it with enough content months ago. Like, they don't really have time to get me back into the game. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. Like, looking at the gaming world right now, The Sims 4 just became free to play. I've been grinding The Sims again. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 just released. I've been grinding camos and having a lot of fun with the new Call of Duty game. God of War Ragnarok comes out in a few days. I'm gonna try and play that and see if I enjoy it. Everyone's enjoying it so far, so I figure I will. In a couple months, we're getting the new Dead Island, you know what I mean? So when my hype on these games has kind of run its course, there's gonna be that to play. When it comes to gaming, I've already got my focus for the next few months. Like, I already know what I want to play, and truth be told, I don't really have the time, the patience, or the care to sit around and wait for new Halo content to get back into this game. To me, this game's already dead. Like, if they came out faster with new content and they actually were more, I would say, equipped to handle this off the jump, they could have saved my interest. But it's kind of like Battlefield with 2042 or whatever at this point, right? I'm done with that game. It's over with. Like, there's never going to be another chance for them to really sink me back into that game, I feel like. And the sad truth is that that's just kind of how Halo is at this point too, man. Like, I'm not interested in Halo Infinite anymore. Now, they could have had me if they addressed this earlier, but they simply didn't. And like, for me, that was kind of the end of it right there. So it's great that they're genuinely trying to address these problems, but like, for me, not gonna do it, man. Like, I'm over it at this point. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Like, will you give Halo Infinite another shot if they end up dropping new content? Let me know in the comments down below. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below, and of course, until my next video here on Optimus Games, this is Optimus, well, talking about Halo Infinite, and signing out.